Yes, 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 yes. Welcome back to another edition of Go Long Live. I am Barry Long, the first, not the second, not the third. I am the first, and we are live on CoachellaValley.com. We are also live on today'scalifornia.com. We are live all over Twitter. We appreciate everybody for tuning in, everybody for checking in with us, for subscribing, for liking, for sharing the post, for commenting. Remember, you can comment right there on the live feed, and you'll come up right on the show, and we can bring up all your comments. I want to say Happy Veterans Day to everybody out there who is a veteran. Even this man right here, Mo Murphy, he is a veteran. Happy Veterans Day to you, dog. How you
I
doing?
wish I was a veteran, bro. I'm still active duty. So
Well, technically, you're a veteran, right?
I'm just saying, I wish I was a veteran so I could say I used to serve, but yeah, I'm still in. But I appreciate it, bro.
No,
Appreciate the
for
shout
sure,
out.
for sure. For sure, man. Well, we just want to thank everybody for their service because without anybody out there fighting for our freedom, we wouldn't be able to do what we do each and every day. So we
Yep.
appreciate everybody out there, and it's a beautiful thing to see. The NFL and all the different leagues, the NBA, everybody honoring our members of service. Now, there's Memorial Day. Memorial Day is where you honor the fallen. Veterans Day is where you honor everyone else. The fallen, the active duty, everybody. My father was in the military. He retired in the Navy, so that's my veteran right there. All right, but we got a lot to talk about. We had a key free agent who just recently became a free agent signed with the team today. And no, it is not Odell Beckham Jr. It is Cam Newton. We will be talking about that shortly. Cam Newton has found a team, and I've been clamoring for it from team to team. I keep saying, "Hey, man, why don't they go get Cam Newton? Why don't the Seahawks go get Cam Newton? Why don't the Saints go get Cam Newton?" Well, somebody finally got him. We'll talk about that shortly. Also, we're going to break down this Miami Dolphins versus Baltimore Ravens game that we have tonight on Thursday Night Football. Should be a good game if you're a Ravens fan. Should be a bad game if you're a Miami Dolphins fan. Is that why you're wearing the Miami Heat hat for the Miami fans?
No, not at all. I'm not. I'm a Heat fan though, and
yeah, you are a Heat fan.
unfortunately, we lost to the Lakers in a
Yeah, you did. You did. I should have worn my Lakers hat today. I wore a Big Bear hat today, but I got my hoodie
great
on.
game last night though. Great
That was a
game.
great game. That was a great game. It went down to the wire. Malik Monk. Ooh. Malik Monk. We got a good one in Malik Monk. We might have some issues with the Lakers, and specifically with 3-point shooting. But Malik Monk, he's gonna stay. He's gonna stay around for a while. I'm not sure if Carmelo Anthony can keep up with his performances, but man, the Lakers got a good one in Malik Monk. We'll talk about NBA a little bit later on, but right now let's get to some Cam Newton. And before that, I just want to let y'all know this Capri Sun lemonade, this thing's hitting. This thing's hitting. It's hitting. All right, so let's talk about the first news of the day is with Cam Newton. Cam Newton has officially signed with the Carolina Panthers. He was originally there in 2011. That's when he was drafted. He was the MVP for the 2015. Took them to the Super Bowl that season. Lost to the Denver Broncos. He's had a lot of injury history. Of course, we know he was coached by Ron Rivera there, but he was there on the outskirts of the franchise when Matt Rhule was being brought in. Ultimately, they wanted to move on from Cam Newton, but now Cam Newton, after seeing what the injuries that have happened to the Carolina Panthers, starting quarterback with Sam Darnold, and just not even the injuries. This guy's played like complete trash this year. He's got 7 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Sam Darnold, we thought, man, the Panthers started off fresh, 4-0. And we thought, man, all Sam Darnold needed was a fresh new start, was a new head coach, was a better offensive coordinator like Joe Brady. Turns out Sam Darnold turned right back into Sam Darnold. Now, even though he's injured, he's scheduled to be back in 4 weeks. They decided to move on from him anyway. They decided to go with Cam Newton. Now, how do you feel about Cam Newton coming back to his old stomping grounds in Charlotte and being a part of that's the Cam Newton again. They're not getting Superman. They're gonna get the one that looks a little he looks a little 5150 if you ask me. But but he's been working out, he's been training hard, and he's excited to go back to his stomping grounds. What do you think about the acquisition of Cam Newton to Carolina?
I guess it makes sense. It's some excitement. Bring some excitement around the Carolina Panthers while they're kind of headed on the downhill of their season, heading into the second half of the season. I guess we'll see. Cam Newton had told us prior to the season, going into basically the quarterback battle, with in New England that he felt fully healthy. This was the best he felt. I think a lot of us thought he was going to win the quarterback competition, but I don't know if it was competition, but I don't know if there was ever a plan of Cam Newton winning it.
Well, between Mac Jones?
Yeah, between him and Mac Jones. Like, and it's no shot. I think Cam was going to have to do that much more because they drafted Mac Jones in the first round. Like, essentially, you do want to get your quarterback going. So even if Cam had won it, I don't know if it was his job to keep essentially in the first place anyway. We know he didn't want to get vaccinated. So New England was just like, you know what? We're going to let Mac, start off the right way. If it's a bad year, whatever, but we're going to get, our future without Tom Brady rolling with the guy that we drafted to be our future. So, but based on everything he said, leading up, he says he's healthy. He's hopefully going to have a shot to prove it, but it ain't going to be just easy. PJ Walker, decent. You know what I'm saying? PJ Walker is a decent guy. Like, hey,
PJ Walker, come on, man.
Bro,
he was nice in college. He was nice in college.
I think he could do some things, bro. He can run in the pocket. He could throw the ball. Like, I mean, bro, like you said, Sam Darnold, you know what I'm saying? I was in the Carolina Panthers corner saying they were going to make the playoffs, and they still could. And this might be the start
in that 7th spot, yeah.
But, I mean, PJ Walker, first off, neither one of them can play worse than Sam Darnold. Let's just put it like that. It ain't getting worse than how he's been playing. So I do like the addition, but I think PJ Walker, they already say he's starting this Sunday. So I think Cam can bring a spark, though. If he is healthy, I know we talk about, like, he's not Superman Cam, but, like, we haven't seen him healthy since the last time we called him Superman Cam. He only went down because of his injuries. So if he is healthy, the man only 31 years old. Let's just remember that. Cam is not that old. The man
he's an old 31, though. He's been around.
But he's not that old, though. But the beating his body took as a quarterback, I get that. But I don't know. I'm kind of expecting some type of success for Cam Newton. I'm expecting that spark from him. He has it easy. The weapons are good. CMC is back. He'll be healthy by the time Cam really get on the field, probably next Sunday at the earliest, unless PJ Walker just plays absolutely terrible or gets hurt. But I think he's set up a lot nicer now than he ever was since being hurt. They always had DJ Moore, but now they got Terrace Marshall. Now they got Robbie Anderson. They got a good tight end. They got CMC, who he's had CMC. They also have Chuba Hubbard back there. So they got a 1-2 punch at running back. Like, they got an offensive-minded coach who's drafted defensive heavy and got a good defensive – they got a good offensive coordinator in Joe Brady. Like, they have a lot of things for Cam to be successful if he's healthy. So I don't want to just write Cam off that he's just going to be absolutely horrible because he didn't win the starting spot in New England.
Yeah, and you're right. I don't think it was ever his job to win.
Right.
They were ready. They were ready for Mac Jones' era to begin. And once they saw that he was ready out the gate, they were like, "Man, we can't." And you can't have Cam Newton sitting behind him as a backup. Not with that aura. Not being a former MVP and with the energy that he brings. Yeah. But look. So you're right. He does have some familiarity with CMC. He got Christian McCaffrey. They played a few seasons before. He had DJ Moore. That was one of his wide receivers in the past. But the only thing that I worry about with that team is you named all the positives. They got a good defense. They got a good defensive coordinator. They got a good head coach. They got good weapons. They got more weapons than he had before. But what they don't have is a great O-line. And that O-line, they just put 2 guys on IR, the left tackle and the center. So, the last time we've seen Cam Newton with a bad O-line, he was running for his life. And the last time we've seen him, play when he was with his last season with the New England Patriots, he was injured. He was playing hurt. He had 8 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. Never seen a ratio like that from him for touchdown to interception ratio like that. But if he's healthy, then God bless him. But I don't know how long he can stay healthy with that O-line and looking the way it is all season long, and then now it being banged up. So we wish the best for Cam Newton. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm excited for him because he does not deserve to go somewhere where he knows that the starting quarterback may be injured and is coming back shortly, like a place like Seattle, where when they were thinking about tossing the name Cam Newton around, he doesn't deserve to go there because he's not going to be able to stay there long term because that's Russell Wilson's place. So this place in Carolina, there's no other options besides him, no better options. And I think that he has a good place, a good chance to be in their quarterback for the next couple of years. So shout out to Cam Newton, but they got to get that O-line better. They definitely do. This is Go Long Live. I am Barry Long II. This is Mo Murphy. We got a comment already. Kenneth Cotterill says, happy Veterans Day to a serviceman like Mo Murphy. So, yeah. Shout out to you, man. Salute. When y'all get on the ship, don't y'all always got to go like this? Y'all got to salute?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. See, I know little
I
things. I
know a little
was
something. I don't miss that
going
lifestyle either. I'm gonna be honest. I don't miss getting on the ship and coming. I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
to.
Work, sit behind my desk, kick my feet up, and be like, I'm chilling over here in this good old Texas weather.
For sure, man. For sure, man. Listen, it must be nice in Texas. All right, so now let's talk about this Monday night matchup. We got the Baltimore Ravens between taking on the Miami Dolphins in Miami. We're gonna see Lamar Jackson up against what we thought might be Tua, but it's probably going to be Jacoby Brissett, is what they're saying right now. Tua's going to be a game time decision, but what they're thinking about doing is having him just serve. He's going to dress out, but he's going to serve as an emergency backup. Or they might just put him in if Jacoby Brissett does not do well at all at the gate. Either way. So we might see Tua tonight, but we'll definitely see Jacoby Brissett. And the Miami Dolphins are going to play with a lot of energy, and so are the Ravens. The Ravens are coming in. Hollywood Brown is from the area, so is Lamar Jackson. So they're looking to go home, get some home cooking, and for a fact that the Ravens definitely want to get a lead instead of always having to fight back and come back from these behind 2-score games. So we have had 3 games where we've come from behind, from down 2 touchdowns. But we don't want to. We want to put our foot on the gas, and we just want to keep it there. So I'm looking for the Ravens to come out strong tonight with a big performance from Lamar Jackson being at home. And I'm also looking for the defense to step up this week. And we know that the Miami Dolphins have struggled to run the ball. The Ravens love when we can stop the run and when we can just sit back and we can make you think, because our secondary is one of the best even without Marcus Peters. So I look for this game to be a blowout tonight. What do you say?
Nah, it's not gonna be a blowout
because it's a Thursday night game, huh?
It's a trap game for Baltimore. I'm not saying they lose. I mean, they very well could blow Miami out. But I'm saying this is a trap game for Baltimore. Miami's bad, obviously, but it's a Thursday night game. We've seen there really hasn't been a great Thursday night game. Like, there hasn't really been much that's lived up to the hype. I mean, the Packers Cardinals was pretty good, even without all those weapons, but still, teams start to look like a shell of themselves on that short week on Thursday. We know those are always the tougher games to play.
At least in the first half, a lot of times.
In the first half. And so I think if Miami with nothing to lose could take advantage of Baltimore early, I think Baltimore ultimately wins the game. And maybe, like you said, this is a homecoming for Lamar Jackson, Hollywood Brown. This is where they grew up. Maybe Lamar Jackson wants to put up 5 touchdowns, and there's no animosity towards the Miami Dolphins, but he want to throw out for the home crowd. That's understandable. I get it. He's going to have a lot of family, a lot of old homies there, a lot of people he grew up with. He probably got a lot of people in that
former coaches.
Yeah. So he probably has a lot of people that are looking at Lamar, a lot of kids, stuff like that. Like, hey, go out here and have the greatest game of your life, and he very well might. But sometimes you have that pressure on yourself. You don't play up to standard, but everybody knows Lamar Jackson, a great quarterback. So it's not neither the here nor there. He's, I don't look at him different no matter how he plays. But I just think this is a trap game. The great teams like this, the championship contending teams run into trap games. And you never worry about whether a team's going to get up for a big game. You worried about whether a team's going to fall asleep. We just watched the Dallas Cowboys do it against the Denver Broncos. We essentially watched Cincinnati do it, fall asleep late in the game to the New York Jets. We seen the Buffalo Bills just do it last week to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So the top tier teams fall asleep on games.
You're making a really good case for a trap game.
You never call those upsets, but it is a real thing called trap games. And great teams fall asleep in games like this. They start to look ahead of their schedule. They start to smell themselves. Hey, we one of the best teams, if not the best team in the AFC. We one of the best teams in the NFL. It's the Miami Dolphins. We ain't got nothing to worry about. And as a coach, Harbaugh's job is to keep them get up. But come on, bro. Like, when you sit in front of another man and you better than that man, somebody could tell you whatever. Don't underestimate him. You go, man, look at this dude, bro. Like, I ain't worried about it. And sometimes sometimes David does beat Goliath. So I think this is a trap game for Baltimore, but I think they'll handle it well. The way they play football definitely is good for trap games. Run the ball, get a lot of yards on the ground, slow the game down, run a lot of clock. So I think Baltimore will be fine, but don't be surprised if Miami hangs around a lot longer than you expect.
Absolutely, and I mean they are an NFL franchise, and you know these guys are getting paid to do what they do. They come to work every single day, and they want to win. Just because they're Miami Dolphins and they have been associated with losing for a long time does not mean that they're not still franchise. They're not still NFL, caliber guys that can still get it done. And they have weapons. They do have weapons. I love what Jalen Waddle's been doing. I love this guy Mike Gesicki. So, and we've seen the Baltimore Ravens give up big play after big play after big play in some of these games that we've won. We saw it last week with Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson over the top a couple times. We've seen Jamar Chase get burn our safety. So we've seen Chuck Clark back there, and we don't have Deshaun back there anymore. So we've lost one of our safeties. So it's going to be a pretty tough game in the secondary if we're giving up some of those big plays. But I think that with their inability to run the ball, we'll basically know that what's coming. So I hope that the Ravens.
Barry. We have breaking news here on Go Long Live. Odell Beckham Jr. is going to the Los Angeles Rams.
Wow.
Odell Jr. is going to the Los Angeles Rams. Breaking news here on Go Long Live, reported by Adam. OBJ is going to the Rams. The OBJ saga
I told y'all he was going to the Rams.
I
told y'all he was going to the Rams.
Holy hell.
Odell Beckham Jr. to the Rams. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It is a wrap. Now you have got to look at them like, hey man, they're going to win the Super Bowl right now because now you've added a weapon and Cooper Kupp, who is leading the league in receiving yards this year by about 200 yards almost, who's looking really good this year, has great chemistry with Matt Stafford. Then you got Sony Michel. You still got Robinson back there. You got some guys that can run the ball, but they're gonna be pass heavy. I mean, still got Van Jefferson. And you got Robert Woods. This is one of the most explosive offenses in football right now. And then when you couple that with that defense and the star power that they have on that defensive line, and the way that Jalen Ramsey is playing at an all-time high right now, oh my goodness! I mean, you have to pick the Rams as a Super Bowl favorite. I picked the Rams and the Packers to begin the season, and that was simply off of Matt Stafford going there and just. I just love what the Rams have been doing the last few years, putting it all together. And we know that there's levels to this. You don't just get a great player and then become a championship team right away. There's levels to this. You get to the playoffs, then you got to get to the AFC Championship. Then you might get to the Super Bowl and lose. But now the fact that the Rams have paid their dues, they have gone through this rites of passage to get there. Now they are scooping up everybody. The Von Miller move. And the Odell Beckham move, that is saying I'm putting all my chips in the middle of the table. That's saying do something right now. And I think this makes the Rams the ultimate favorite, outright favorite to win the Super Bowl. What do you think? It's over.
Bruh.
What in the hell? Odell Beckham, brother.
Odell Beckham, bro. How did they make that work, man?
You could have went to Green Bay. You could have went to Seattle. You could have went to Kansas City. You could have went to the Raiders. Man, where else he could have went? Anywhere. But you decided to go to the Rams.
He got a house in L.A.
For Christmas. I don't care. You just canceled Christmas.
It's over.
The Chargers. He could have went to the Chargers. You know what? Just for that, I hope the Rams don't win the Super Bowl. He could have went anywhere. Who
doesn't want to play for Sean McVay, though, man?
Man, no. There's rights about doing this. You know what? If they win the Super Bowl, everybody better kill Odell Beckham the same way we killed Kevin Durant for joining the Golden State Warriors.
Oh, come on. It's not the same as KD joining.
They buying a championship, bro. Odell Beckham is one of the most talented receivers in the league when healthy. We are about to see how deadly. Sorry, Van Jefferson, but your playing time is bye-bye. So
they might let him return kicks.
It is Odell and Cooper Kupp.
Oh my goodness.
My God.
Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham Jr. Ooh, I mean, and Cooper Kupp has been playing, like I said, he's been playing phenomenally well this year. And man, and the chemistry between he and Matt Stafford. And Matt Stafford Matt Stafford deserves this, okay? Matt Stafford deserves to be in a major market with major weapons, with a great coaching, and on a big stage. And now he's got it. So Matt Stafford, you better go out and win a Super Bowl this year. I picked the Rams and Packers at the beginning of the season. Yes, I am a Ravens fan. And yes, I do want the Ravens to go to the Super Bowl. That's what I want every year. But we have to think with conventional wisdom here. And this is just one of those shocking moments that we've had right here on Go Long Live with Barry Long II and Mo Murphy. Odell Beckham Jr., it is official. We have just found out that Odell Beckham Jr., it will now be a Los Angeles Ram. And man, that is just exciting news for everybody out here. And exciting for my neighbor Larry. I know he's the first one I'm going to see when I when I leave. And he's going to be excited. But yeah, I think that makes him the outright favorite. But now, back to the game tonight, because I really wanted to make this.
I apologize.
No. We good. That's worth.
Yeah, we had to talk about that because
the Rams
talk about that. Be one of the first.
Rams are serious out here.
Hey, think about it. We got that live on the show, so we one of the first people to break it down. So even when we go into detail tomorrow, what we think.
They stole that. They stole that from us.
Y'all stole our idea. Okay, we heard it here first. All right.
Man, oh man. All right. Well, yeah. What I did want to say was about the Ravens Dolphins game real quick. Before we move on to a little bit of NBA talk, was that the Ravens. I was surprised, man. I looked up and saw that Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown. We know he's had a productive year this year, but he is 6th overall in receiving yards this year right now. So he's got more receiving yards than Mark Andrews. So Lamar Jackson and his ability to throw the ball is really on display. And Lamar Jackson, with that being said, Lamar Jackson is also number 6 in rushing this year. So he's so we got a top 10 rusher, top 10 passer, or top 10 pass catcher. So it's going to be exciting to see, because Lamar Jackson is right now, he's my clear cut for MVP. You got guys like Kyler Murray and Josh Allen who are still in the run. But I think that what Lamar Jackson is doing right now, he's definitely got to be considered the clear cut for MVP. But man, breaking news right here on Go Long Live: Odell Beckham Jr. is now a Los Angeles Ram, and that means they picked up a lot of good guys, a lot of big names. I mean, you walk into that locker room, you're like Odell, Vaughn, Jalen, Aaron Donald, Matt, Cooper. It's a lot of stars over there in LA, and deservedly so. And with that stadium, Stan Kroenke and Leslie, they're like, man, there's no way in hell we're going to let our stadium have a Super Bowl and we're not in it and we're not going to win it. It's going to be just like what we saw last year in Tampa. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they got a Super Bowl in their home stadium, and they look like they pushed all the chips in when they went out and got Tom Brady. But we really knew they were all in when they got Gronk and AB and Leonard Fournette, and they just started picking up piece after piece, like whoever's available that has talent, come on in the Super Bowl. So this feels a lot like that, and it's fitting that the Super Bowl will be in SoFi Stadium this season. Now, real quick, we talked about Jokic and Murray, the little dust up that they had. This is the clip of that right here, and I kept watching this foul from Jokic, bro. He's significantly bigger than Morris, and just the way that he winds up and he gets 2 full steps. Boo! And then it lowers his shoulder. That's like an NFL. I'm starting to think that he needs more than just a 1-game suspension for that. I'm thinking like a 5-game suspension is in the works for that. I mean, but he received 1-game suspension. Marcus Morris received the fine and no suspension. But we've heard all week about the Jokic brothers. So this is our meme of the day. These are the Jokic brothers on their way to fight the Miami Heat. We've seen the Jokic brothers all over social media, and I'm starting to get scared of the Jokic brothers, man. They're like, these dudes are big, and they supposedly they pack a lot of heat. But hey, this is America, and it goes down just like it does over there. It goes down just like that over here. So, but yeah, there's been a lot of talk on them. But I think, do you think 1 game is enough for Jokic?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm all right with it. Like, because, I mean, you could have suspended him 5 games, but then at that point, you got to suspend Morris 2 to 3. At the end of the day, for being the initiator, like you do. So,
bro, that whiplash, man, that could have been serious.
I mean, I get it, but I'm just saying, like, if you suspend him 5, then you got to suspend him 3. Like, you knew both of them were getting a punishment. You kept it very minimal. You find, Morris, and you find Jimmy Butler, and then, you suspended him for a game. Hey, don't do that again. Slap on the wrist for both. I mean, I'm all right with it. Like, you know what I'm saying, all this talk though,
Yeah.
you know, the Heat better handle that. Like they won't. They doing all that talking. Ain't nothing gonna happen in Denver. But I be thinking like y'all better handle that. Y'all making all that noise, talking all that hoopla and that shit is naive about what you gonna do when y'all see Denver again. So hey, you bet. I told you what they better do. Jimmy Butler better tip the ball. He better be at center court, and as soon as they throw the ball, he better just right up.
Jokic better be like,
Jokic gonna be like, oh. And then a video surfaced of one of the Jokic brothers kickboxing. Man, them boys soft. That boy he ain't got no fancy punch like
we have MMA analyst Mo Murphy live in the building.
Trash, bro. They did all that big boy oopa, bro. Just because you 6'6" and got tattoos, bro, don't mean you can't get dropped. I don't care what happened over there in Serbia.
I know a lot of guys. I know a lot of big dudes that are big for nothing.
But everybody talking about with the Jokic brothers and what they endured over there, bro. We got gangsters too. Like they act like Serbia the only place where it's rough. Well, Serbia the only place where there's some killers and some gangsters over here too.
We're an international show. Shout out to everybody in Serbia.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Let's talk basketball. We got a couple minutes left. We got 5 minutes left. Let's talk basketball because there was a lot of action last night. A lot of NBA action last night. We saw some good games between the Heat and the Lakers. We saw a good game between the Knicks. Who the Knicks play last night?
The Bucks.
The Bucks. The Knicks and the Bucks. Yeah. The Knicks came all the way back and then ended up losing by 12. But yeah, so I'm looking at the Eastern Conference right now, and right now as we're 11 games into the season, 12 games into the season. The Wizards are at the top of the Eastern Conference, and it's very close in the Eastern Conference because you got everybody was within 4 or 5 games of each other, so you don't have anybody really like sitting on the outside looking in like at besides the Pistons. But the Wizards are at 8-3. Do you think that's sustainable? Because we've talked about the Bulls. We know the Bulls are here. The Bulls are here to stay. Zach LaVine and Lonzo Ball playing so well together right now. Vucevic we just heard he's out with COVID, so he'll probably miss a couple games. They might have them lose a couple games. But the way they get contributions off the bench from Caruso, the Bulls are the truth. We know the Nets are the truth. Are the Wizards the truth? Because I like their roster.
I won't say they're the truth, but they got a good roster and they play team basketball.
Yeah.
If I don't want to say this because
say it, man. You got to say it.
It could come back to bite me in the butt. The Wizards are similar, a little bit lesser version of the Utah Jazz. I'm saying, all right. So, yes, the recipe to how they play ball. They got Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal being what? Donovan Mitchell.
Utah has Donovan Mitchell. You got Spencer Dinwiddie. They got Mike Conley. The difference would be, I guess Montrezl Harrell and Thomas Bryant ain't no Rudy Gobert, of course. But they got a team, and Kyle Kuzma is coming along. He's fitting. He's flourishing.
He's flourishing over there, man.
Yeah. So I mean, it's similar. Like team ball is not it's a regular season success. And I'm not saying, trust me, individuals don't win games. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is when you play great team ball, but no one individual is like the standout star, because even Donovan Mitchell, as great as he is, he's not just the standout star. Like, he's in Utah. They play team ball. Sometimes Mike Conley's the reason they win. They got Rudy Gobert, who plays amazing defense. Like, there's a lot of pieces, and they play team ball. So Donovan Mitchell can have an off night, and the success of Utah doesn't ride on Donovan Mitchell being off. They got plenty of play. Washington is kind of built that same way. Now, granted, Philly's without Ben, obviously right now, and Joel Embiid has COVID. We know Brooklyn's without, Kyrie Irving, but Washington can only worry about Washington. And Chicago and Washington both look amazing, and it's because chemistry is not a problem for a new look team, because they went out and put the right pieces. They all fit. So when you talk about chemistry, you're like, well, how does Kuzma and KCP, you can plug those guys in a lot of systems. They fit right away. You learn each other in training camp. You learn each other in preseason when you play.
They play together. They play together.
But they're playing fine. Like they're so, and then even with the Bulls, like everybody's like, well, I don't love the DeRozan move. Lonzo makes all of them fit, but no guy he just absolutely needs the ball. Zach LaVine turning into a playmaker. Lonzo glues all those because he's a real point guard. He makes it happen for everybody. DeMar DeRozan can run an offense, can make plays for other people if need be. He showed us that last year in San Antonio. So that's why the success is there, because if you look at how they're built as a team, Chemistry is not an issue for neither of those two teams right now, just like Golden State in the West. Like, you look at some of the top teams, and chemistry has not been an issue. Brooklyn is just so much better than everybody. Miami, chemistry hasn't been an issue. They've been playing fine also. The chemistry is the problem for the bad teams right now. The team's not living up to expectations. But team outdoing expectations a lot better than we thought or whatever is because chemistry is not an issue. So for them, I think they could continue it. I don't think Washington or Chicago finishes at the 1 and 2 seed, but I think they have a highly successful regular season. I mean, barring injury, the way Washington is playing, they can play with anybody they believe. At the end of the day, the biggest thing about Washington is Bradley Beal's committed to Washington. So they're not listening to the outside noise of possible trade packages and build this, build that.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, but he shut it down. He said he wants to win here, just like Dame. Like, we know the Dame thing, but Portland sucks. So we're going to keep hearing Dame one out. But like, Washington's 8-3. We're not going to be sitting here saying Bradley Beal should one out when he's 8-3 right now. Portland sucks. So we're like, Dame, what are you doing, bro? You said you're committed. You ain't winning jack. You might not even get to the playoffs this year the way your sorry behind team is playing. So I think they're just able to get in. They got a bunch of guys looking to prove. KCP just got traded. Montrezl Harrell got written off last year by the Lakers. Kyle Kuzma got written off for Westbrook. So there's also guys with chips on their shoulders. Dinwiddie coming, trying to show his worth coming off an ACL injury. So that's the biggest thing too. Thomas Bryant coming off an injury last year, wasn't able to play and show us who he was. So that's another big thing is you got a lot of guys with a lot to prove, including your true star on the team, Bradley Beal. He wants to prove that he's Washington and he could get something done. He could have some type of success by himself. No John Wall, no Russell Westbrook. So I salute what the Wizards are doing.
Yeah, me too. And shout out to Wes Unseld Jr., for stepping up and coaching that franchise. Yeah, great coach. Great coach.
That he's a great coach, by the way.
Yeah. It's an amazing thing. And the Eastern Conference is going to be one of those things where we're going to have to watch how it shapes out because you got a lot of moving parts or a lot of potential moving parts, especially with the Ben Simmons saga going on. And it'll just be, and with Kyrie Irving, we don't know what's going to happen with him and his future, whether he's going to get vaccinated or not. Hopefully he does, man, and comes back to the Nets and we can see them at full strength. But yeah, man, it's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out. All right, Mo Murphy, where can they find you at?
Yeah, as always, y'all can find me at Upper Flames Pod on Twitter, Instagram, Mo_Cheese15 on Twitter, Instagram. Give me a follow. Subscribe to my podcast anywhere you get your podcast, and go check out Off the Ball Network Mondays. And we low key shout out Dash Radio. We starting to take over them Wednesdays too. Ooh. So you might be hearing Off the Ball Network Mondays and Wednesdays. Don't let us get Fridays too. We're going crazy over there. So make sure you tune
Fridays
Off the Ball Network. Yeah, make sure y'all tune in tomorrow for Fed Up Friday.
Oh, I got a lot.
I'm gonna be fed up with something. I'm fed up with the program, so I'm gonna be with something tomorrow. Something gonna irk my nerves by tomorrow's show.
The Rams have signed Odell Beckham Jr. Panthers have re-signed Cam Newton. Man, it feels crazy today. It feels like a crazy day. Y'all can find me on Twitter at Radio Barry Long. I'm on IG at BarryLong_2. And remember, man, y'all stay focused, stay motivated, stay inspired. And remember, you're capable of doing anything. So go out and do it. And happy Veterans Day to all the veterans. See y'all tomorrow on a Fed Up Friday. Salute.